Welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. We're so excited to be back again, Kathy. Thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. But can we just talk for a minute about exhaustion? Before we are going to answer your fan questions, we want you to submit them. We love reading them. It's so easy. It's easier than getting a plane back to the States from St. Martin. All you have to do is go to bachelornation.com/golden hour and submit away. Send us your questions, your comments, your updates.
Take it away, baby. All of it. We want all of it, and the updates especially, because when you're writing these questions, we love answering them. We love giving advice, but we always are curious how you made out. So definitely do that for us. And just remember, you can also DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour. All right, Kathy, let's start with hometowns. Oh my goodness, what did you think of this week's hometown episode?
First of all, the best thing, starting with Juliana and her dad, Carl, who I actually loved. But I loved
did you
the
just
Boston
get homesick?
accent.
Did you get homesick?
Yeah, it made me totally homesick. Go Newton, go Boston. The accent. When people say to me, "Oh, I can tell you from Boston," I want a clip of this episode just to play them and say, "No, this is a Boston accent. Carl has a Boston accent." I just loved it, though. I mean, you're the Italian, so you got to weigh in on this about how Italians. But I thought they were so welcoming.
They were wonderful. They were. We are. That's how we are. They eat. They gather. And I loved that he accepted and he liked them.
Yeah. What did you think, though? I had to laugh when they were at the pizza store and they bring home 4 pizzas. I'm like, there's a crowd of like 60 there. I'm sure those 4 pizzas went far.
I know.
But, it's funny because I wish they had shown, just me being me, I wish they had shown more of Newton, more of Boston. I just wish they had, had a nice date other than just going to a local pizza place and trying to spin pizzas. But,
I think she's very happy. She's giddy, she doesn't want to get hurt.
I mean, she said it was the first time in 7 years she's brought a guy home.
I know. And I watched it thinking, oh, are you going to get hurt? I don't know.
We know
moving on. Each date, I kept looking for that moment that tells us, right?
Yeah.
The modeling with Zoe and all that was cool. And she is a beautiful, beautiful girl.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that one.
Well, we'll get to her. But I just want to know on of course, I told you, Juliana's my hometown girl. I still think it's going to be Latia. But I loved the way they really welcomed him. And I think that meant a lot to him.
Absolutely.
Because this is a guy that seems to really care about family and want family.
He felt good leaving there.
Yeah. And did you hear him say, Juliana, I think, said to her dad, he's my guy. We're aligned and they feel safe with each other. I mean, those things really matter. And the previews, he says he's really struggling. I'm going out on a limb here. I think he's going to be struggling between Juliana and Latia.
That's what I think.
All right,
too.
let's move on to
Zoe.
Zoe, one more thing. Next. Did you hear him tell her? I starred this. He said to Juliana, "I'm falling for you. It could be a fit." And Juliana said she'd let down her walls. So, and when he kissed her goodbye, it was not a
It wasn't a
peck.
make out. No,
well,
but
it was
wasn't
a pretty good kiss,
it's
though.
a little one. Yeah, it's not the one. I like her.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to Zoe, who it's definitely not the one, but give me your thoughts.
I don't think it's Zoe. I would be surprised. I think she's lovely. She's got a great life. She's very strong, and he likes that about her.
I think Zoe's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I think doing a wedding photo shoot, I do not think that was a good idea. I mean, does anyone think that was a good idea to do a wedding photo shoot?
Wait, do you remember when they tied the knot? Who was that tied the knot?
Latia,
yeah. That was,
so
I remember when Joan and
Yeah.
Pascal.
Yeah, I remember that too. But wait a minute.
But
Do
anyhow.
you, when they did, like, they didn't just do a wedding shoot, they did a proposal. She came out in a wedding dress.
Oh, and the ring.
I mean,
and how about how she was posing? She's a fabulous model.
she's a beautiful model. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
she
think
did great.
everything you're saying is right. She's a beautiful model. However, Grant did say, you could see he felt it was a little bit weird to be doing a photo shoot with an engagement ring, the whole 9 yards. I mean,
It's just practice, Grant.
really, and I think it was foreshadowing. I think it's, he's scared. It was like, what the hell? Why are we doing this? He said that he was so proud of her for being modeling. I didn't see him talking about them at all. It was, oh, she's a great model. She's beautiful. She's so good at her craft, kind of thing. That was, it was almost like
was
it
not
was
that connection. That
there was. I didn't feel anything
No.
other than, damn,
It was
I
fun.
wish, but don't you
hurry
wish you
up
looked like
next.
she does in a wedding gown?
I know. God.
Oh,
I mean, you
man.
are beautiful. If you're listening to this, you're
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Zoe, you are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, we love you.
But I don't see it happening. Okay.
My most favorite date, or do you want to go to Dina?
Let's go. Where?
Dina.
Who was next?
Poor Dina. Her parents didn't come. They refused to come.
Okay.
I don't remember that her dad was a religious man. I didn't catch that.
I don't think
during
that's
the
what
show.
it is necessarily. I think, but can I just say to you, I think that's what we call a red herring. Again, I don't know why I go out on limbs when I'm talking to you about this stuff. I just tell you what I really think because I figure nobody else is listening. I'm just telling Susan here. But I think that that was just a red herring. I don't think her parents being there had anything to do with it. I think for him sending her home.
It put a thorn in it.
Well, it may have put a thorn in it, but I'm saying I didn't see the connection. I saw her and him as companions, as he trusted in her. She was
He
gave him
respects
sage
her
advice.
profession and who
Yeah,
she
he was
is.
impressed with all that, and she was the one that talked about Carolina, and he listened to what she said. But again, no connection. But I don't think
I think
sent
he
her
likes
home.
them both, but
I don't think he sent her home because her parents weren't there. I think
I don't think that's the main reason. But that was a sour start.
Well, it was a sour
how
start, but
she was feeling. I felt so bad for her.
Oh, I did too.
That's embarrassing. It's like, but you have to respect your parents' wishes.
Well, I don't whether she respects their wishes or not. She was there with, her friends.
I wonder if she went home and said, "Thanks a lot because of you."
She probably went home and said, "You know what? He sent me home. I could have been married.
You didn't show up."
That's right, because you didn't. And they probably said to her, "No, we knew it was going south. That's why we didn't show up." I mean, that is a no. That's a no win for anybody. But let's talk about Latia going to Wyoming. Can I just say the big thing in that room?
Wait, I put it on my bucket list, Kath. I got to go there.
Oh,
it was so beautiful.
We're going to go and ride horses. I'm going to go skiing. You can ride horses. You and Faith. Faith, if you're listening, Susan's coming to ride horses with you. Not me. No, never happening. But
I mean, and I love the people.
The Mormon deal, it's not an issue.
No, I love that. I thought, oh my God, here it comes. And they all were open. He is a man of faith. That's all that mattered.
He did say to her, and about Juliana, and again, I'm paraphrasing here. He said about Latia, she would make a great wife and mother. And that has been his parade, lyrics.
He's all about family. And I think that's why her family loved that part. She is so pure, that smile of hers.
Yes.
And she's so falling for him.
Yeah,
I see the love
music.
there.
I don't know who does the music. See,
I
watch all the
job.
Who's ever the music engineer.
Job.
Good job. You're doing a great job. Really a good job.
Good job.
You can use that term for so many things, Susan. That's an inside joke for y'all.
I thought I'd make her laugh.
They both seem so genuinely happy, and I love that Grant opened up about his own mother's strict religious beliefs. Mm-hmm. He seems comfortable with her.
I think she's the one.
Now you're doing turncoat again on me. You kept saying Juliana, and I kept
like
saying
Juliana
I wanted to
from
be Juliana.
The get-go.
Yeah, I did too, but
it's
I
the
said
people
Latia.
that I like. I don't know who he picks, but after this, and she will not sleep with him on the overnights. Did you hear her say that?
I
And
don't
she
know that
has-
she will or won't. I mean, I've heard
Well,
women
she
say
said
that
that
before
she-
and they end up.
That's
But
not
we'll
in
see.
her faith. And she also said that would be difficult if he sleeps with other women.
Well, he's a man and he's got some pretty women. And, get over it, Latia. It's happening.
Latia, forgive him. Start praying now.
Father, forgive him, for he know not what he did. He knew not what he did. Okay, so the other thing I wondered, though, is how Grant's family would fit into the Mormon faith. I have friends who are Mormon. Literally, I mean, they're
good people. They're
good
just
people,
a little
but
more
I think
strict than most.
I think they.
And her
think they
father,
would
he
want
was such a doll baby. He
I
didn't
know.
look like any of them.
Well, wait, did you hear him tell Latia's mother that he's falling in love? He said that. He hasn't said that to any.
No,
That's why I say it's these
telling you,
little
I know.
things.
Well, the way he looks at her and she looks at him, she feels him.
Okay, I can't believe
I'm a
you haven't
hopeless
said this yet.
romantic. I'm a
Hopeful.
hopeful.
Okay, so
romantic,
y'all need
that's
to hear
right.
this. Susan and I were on the phone
I've
talking the other
changed
night,
it.
and Susan was saying, we were talking about,
Hopeless
just things
romantics.
in life in general. And Susan said, "Oh, you know me, Kathy. I'm just a hopeless romantic." And I said, "No, Susan, you are a hopeful romantic." So we're now coining that. Susan is not a hopeless romantic. She is a hopeful.
romantic. It's coming
I'm
this year.
It's coming this year for both of us. And so is the tax man on April 15th.
Don't remind me.
Okay, wait.
Okay, we
I
have
can't believe you didn't bring up. Wait, I cannot. I was waiting for you to do it because I thought this was in your wheelhouse, but you didn't. So I'm taking it over.
the pizza.
Leatia's grandfather.
Oh God,
I can't, Susan. What happened?
Oh,
I was like
my
ready to cry.
I was crying. I was tearing
crying
up. I
about
know.
his wife and how much I
He
thought
missed
this
her.
is family who knows what love is. Who
They
wouldn't want to
believe
be
in
part
it.
of that?
Yes.
Who would not want to be part of that? I was just like, and he said,
that
he
whole
loved
date,
her.
that whole hometown was perfect. You know
Wait.
what I didn't care for, Kathy? Can we be honest, dear?
Tell me, the horses.
No. Every time he goes to leave them and they know he's going to the next woman,
Yeah.
it's not a warm and fuzzy goodbye. He's quick. Little kiss and off he goes. Next.
Well, Miss Hopeful Romantic, he didn't have time to do a Fred Astaire dip and bow and makeout session. The car's waiting, time's running, money's
Grant,
time,
slow
and he's got
your
the
roll.
next day.
Spend a minute with them before you leave.
Wait, can I also the one? I got to get back to Grandpops here for a minute because I was crying. I've hung around you too long now, Susan. I've turned into a soft
I'm wearing
jelly.
off on her.
It is.
I'm
He
getting her
said,
sentimental.
I am. Well, no, I've always been sentimental. I just don't show it as easily as you do. He said, you can work out anything with love, and that kind of love that they had never goes away.
Yes, no.
And I just made me cry.
I know.
You could see how much he missed his
he
wife.
missed her
and
bad. Yeah.
So, the other thing I want to say about Latia, she says the depth of what she says to him. She said she wants to give him everything. I'm getting goosebumps again.
I know.
Family,
she's got to
love.
win. I want to marry them, Kath. Plug it away.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Grant and Latia, should you be the lucky two? I want to be the MC at your wedding, and Susan wants to be the officiant. Make it happen.
Yes.
Wait, the last thing, though, that she said, they both told each other, did you hear that they're falling in love with each other?
Yes, they both
So let me
said it.
just say, Grant has got in my mind.
And that was a lot for her.
Yeah, but Grant's going to have a big problem if he doesn't choose her. Well, he's got a big problem anyway because he's told Juliana that he's fallen in love with her too. And in the previews, he's telling Jesse that he's in love with two women.
Two women,
And
they're the two.
That's what I think. I mean, these other two are just wallpaper right now. They're out of here.
Sin.
Well, I mean, they're lovely women, and Zoe's beautiful, and so is Dina. But they're just they're
Dina's
space
already
fillers.
gone, so Zoe's. They're all going to
Listen,
go in the wait. They
Susan,
all go in the
I'll buy you a new capsule wardrobe if he doesn't send Zoe home if
No.
she's not next.
I agree.
mean,
That's how I feel. Anyhow, I would be quite surprised.
I think he's a great guy, but you know what we have to remember? I sit here watching the show and I have to remember that these are young adults. They haven't had
I
enough
haven't had life yet.
experiences yet.
Yeah.
So I could see they're in love with two. I mean, I couldn't be in love with two.
Has Latia ever been in love?
I didn't ask her when I called her on the phone
It was quite
last
some
night.
time before, since she brought anybody around the family. I remember hearing that, but I don't know if she
Juliana said
I know Juliana was like 7
she hadn't brought somebody home in 7 years.
7
I don't
years.
remember Latia saying that. But again, this is one of these things where I go back to Leslie and Teresa on our show. Remember you and I talked about this. We were glad that we didn't make it to the end because who wanted that kind of heartbreak?
Horrible place to be.
What a horrible heartbreak,
Because you open yourself, you become vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then you believe him.
Well, I would believe if a guy
Sure.
tells me, if a man tells me
I'm
he's falling in love with
with
me,
you.
why would you not believe that?
Right.
Unless he's got his phone list out and there's 10 other women that he's dialing up right after he leaves your house.
That's why it's called The Bachelor.
Why? Because he remains the bachelor?
No.
That's why it should be the
whole
bachelor.
show.
It should be, first time wedding or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think it's a great show. I frankly am ready for Zoe to go home. Not because I don't like her. I think she's lovely, Zoe. I think you're lovely.
I think she's got a hell of a career ahead of her. And
I
she's
think
gonna
you
do
are
fine.
an incredible model, and I would focus on that. Some man will sweep you off your feet, and you will be wearing that white wedding gown for the man of your dreams. But I just don't see it for 1 minute being Grant. So I can't wait. So next week
So then it's going to break my heart between the two. In my world, Zoe left.
Yeah. In my world, it was always boiled down to those two.
This ought to be good.
Resolve to earn your degree in the new year in the cities with WGU. With
Call.org. Live is more than just a trans.
Serving 12 in Special Forces.
Here we go. We're going to start with my favorite.
Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Minnesota.
Okay, Susan, it's time to get into the episode. Here we go. We're going to start with my favorite
Question of the day. Here we go.
All right. What advice, Susan, would you give young women who are dealing with gossip, rumors, and all things mean girls? Oh, how much can we talk about this?
Oh my God, I could start with just raising my kids, my daughter, what she went through. And to be honest, Kathy, you and I on the internet, people are mean. If everybody was kind, it would be a perfect
not everybody's
world.
mean. And I will say to you,
There's a lot of them.
Let me tell you how I deal with it and the advice I would give to young women. I've had, and you're right, Susan, we've both had a lot of people write just mean ass comments to us. Usually I ignore them because you know what? If you ignore them, they go away. But very occasionally I will address it. And somebody wrote something so mean the other day about you and me and our friendship. And I wrote back to them, Susan and I have such a great relationship. We are such good friends. I hope someday you find a friendship like Susan's and mine. And in the meantime, have a great day.
Was that
Guess
the same
what?
person that said that I need a nose job? I was like, ooh, that's a first.
Yeah. I'm just saying people can be mean. My advice, though, first of all, young women take
It's
this
harder
stuff.
for young
I
women.
know, but
I mean,
it shouldn't be.
We're seasoned, if you will. Okay.
But it shouldn't be. Hurt feelings are hurt feelings.
Absolutely.
And young people, my advice to them is ignore it. First and foremost, ignore it because people are either jealous, they're angry about something else. It's typically about them, not about you, is the point.
When someone's spreading a rumor, I think that would be harder than just hearing mean things. When someone spreads a rumor, you're going to think people are believing this thing, whatever the case may be.
And you know what, Susan? You're right. Some people are going to believe it, but guess what? We can only control our own reactions to things. We can't make people think a certain way. We can't make people behave a certain way. All we can do is control our own behavior and do the best we can to control our own thoughts.
I got to give you a story, okay? I was 13 years old. I don't know if I ever shared this with you. I was never allowed to go to the splash party, they were called, at the pool, because there was a live music and it was for teenagers. So I turned 13 and I wanted to go. Mind you, I developed in the chest area very late. I used to pray to God. I wanted
Wait a minute.
boobs.
Wait a second. I don't believe that.
Yeah, it was.
This
a late
happened to you
bloom.
overnight?
Overnight, Kathy. And I
Wow.
did. I must improve my bust. You know, all those exercises.
We
I used
must.
to cry to
we
my
must.
dad.
We must develop our bust. The bigger, the
How
better. To
come,
fill out our
Dad, I don't
sweaters. We
have
must. We must. We must.
So anyhow, I'm finally allowed to go to this thing. I am so excited. And the development was starting. I mean, it came overnight, like I said. I went into the bathroom at the splash party and it said Susan Vocolo Stuffs. I was mortified. What? Well, you do know me, right?
No,
I
please tell me you did not pull down your bathing
I
suit.
don't think before I do things. A lot
she
of times I came out and burst open the top of my bathing suit, crying my eyes out to show everybody I was not stuffing, and
Okay.
then call my mother crying hysterical to come get me.
Now, let me just say to the young women out there,
Don't
I
do
love
that.
Susan. Let me just say, give you one word of advice here. Don't.
Hey, it worked. It worked.
It
Nobody
worked.
believed I stuffed anymore because there they were.
And that was your goal in life, to make sure that people did not know.
Can you imagine walking in and reading something about yourself on the wall? It was mortifying.
I mean,
and for
listen,
young
it's
people,
no worse than for a good time going to a bathroom stall for a good time. Call Kathy with my phone number.
No, seriously though, it does hurt. It does sting. And women or girls, don't let it get the best of you. Be the
Yeah.
better person. Easier
And do not
said
pull off
than
your bathing
done.
suit.
Yeah, you can if you want. If they're talking about stuffing, go for it.
Can we please, God? We're going to the fan questions right now. We're just leaving that. We're going. It's okay. I'm going to start us off with the first one. Oh, guess what, Susan? We have an update.
Oh, we just said that today. We love the updates.
We love the updates. Okay, this is one from Maggie. She wrote in, I don't know if you all remember, but we certainly do. She wrote in asking for ways she can connect with her boyfriend outside of food and cooking while she struggled with brain surgery.
I remember.
If you want to go back and listen to it from our episode, it's the one called We're All in the Same Boat. Okay, here it is. Hi, Kathy and Susan. I have an update I wanted to share with you after a question I submitted back in the summer. It was about my inability to eat after brain surgery and the strain this had on my relationship with my boyfriend. Your advice really helped. I listened to it several times because your kindness and sympathy brought me so much comfort. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, so we took your advice and found other activities to enjoy together over the summer and fall, besides our usual eating, cooking, and dining out together. But I've since improved and can finally start to eat some foods again. I wanted to share this progress and good news with two of my favorite ladies who really helped in my time of need. I have goosebumps, Susan.
I
Makes me
know.
want
I'm
to cry.
so happy for her.
Yay, Maggie. We're so happy for you.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness. So
you
see,
remem-
it did work out. She did try. She was in an ugly place, right?
Yeah. I love
And
it.
now they're doing it.
Now, I just want to say that you and I've talked about this. Food is not a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And so when we talked about like what she could do besides eating and dining out, and we were coming up with ideas, there are lots of ways to make connections. And I'm just so glad that they found other ways besides the usual, cooking, dining
No,
out.
she's not telling me what they are, though. I want to know what they did.
I'm guessing they went to the beach and she pulled off her bathing suit top.
Oh, stop it. But just the simple fact that she's feeling better is the main thing in this. It really
So,
is.
Maggie, we are so thrilled that you have improved health, that your relationship is going well, that this is great news. That is the best
More
thing
importantly,
today.
that you're doing good and you want to keep on going with him because you are going to make it. It just took time. And it was a scary time. We prayed for you. We thought about you. And we're so thrilled that you came back to us and let us know. That means
And
the
Maggie,
world.
let us know if you have time. let us know what activities you did. We'd love to know. Write us in another update. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now let's get into Maggie's question. Maggie asks, my boyfriend and I have been together 12 years. I'm 31 and he's 33. I know time to get engaged. Due to my unexpected brain surgery and all the post-op complications, I've been unable to work for a year, and he's had to cover us financially. He wants to get engaged too, but keeps putting it off for the financial reasons. He's holding off because he's determined to get me a fancy, expensive ring. It's hard because of everyone's expectations and comparisons when it comes to engagement rings. Where's Neil Lane when you need him? We could call him for you, actually. Yeah. Any advice on how to move forward with our relationship despite these financial barriers?
Okay, I'm hearing two things here.
Yeah.
One, I'm hearing there are financial issues, and the other one I'm hearing it's about a ring.
Yeah.
You can get engaged, Maggie, without a ring. I know it's not customary, but, you know, the ring is a symbol of love. If the love is there, do you really need the ring right now?
Well, they're all also talking about comparison. So get a CZ for now, and he can make it a real one.
Wait a
Nobody's
minute.
going to know
I got
the
a friend.
difference.
Wait, Susan. I've got a friend. Maggie reached out to me. I have a friend who deals in lab diamonds.
But they're not
beautiful.
cheap either.
They're
but,
sort of,
you know.
well, they're a lot cheaper than a real one.
Yeah.
Well, they are real. Lab diamonds
they
are real. They're just not
man-made.
natural.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't figure out here, though, if it's the ring or the financial stress.
It's the financial, because she says, any advice on how to move forward with our relationship despite
you keep it going.
These financial barriers. So, I mean, that is what it is. As long as you two are happy
and love each other, who cares about the ring? Yeah. Listen, Maggie, reach out to me. I've got a diamond from my husband. I don't have him anymore. I could maybe lend you the ring.
Or like I said, get a CZ if that's what it's going to take.
Or a lab
you could
diamond.
always replace the stone or do the lab diamond. Yeah. But other than that, that's not, everybody's expecting you to get engaged. Like, is there a time limit on this?
I don't
you two
think so,
are in love. You two know you have a future. That is the most important part. But I get it. When everyone else has a diamond, you want one too. That's totally
go the lab diamond route. But here's the other thing. I sense, maybe I'm wrong, Maggie, but I feel like I'm hearing that you said he's been supporting you for a year, that, you know, you've been out of, so maybe there's some other financial constraints right now. And if that's the case, get yourself back up on your feet, you know.
And go back to work. I think she's healing. Yeah.
Put money back in the bank.
You're going to be fine.
Trust me when I tell you, Maggie, a ring is worth nothing if you don't have the love to go along with it.
Yes.
So celebrate the love.
I'm glad you're recovering. I'm glad you're feeling better.
It's great. I think it's all good, Maggie. All right, let's move on to question number 2. Okay. Ray asks, I think Ray is a girl. It's spelled R-A-E.
R-A-E.
Hey, Susan and Kathy. I wanted to say that I love this podcast and have loved watching you on The Golden Bachelor. Listening to your podcast is one of the favorite parts of my week. Do you have any advice for someone who struggles with their relationship with their dad? My dad is great, but my dad is also so hard to be around. He is always negative and thinks of the worst case scenario. And I feel like I can't tell him anything because he's very critical or doesn't seem to care. It seems like I have a dad who is there, but not actually there. If I don't do something right, he yells at me and gets upset. I've tried to talk to him about it, but he doesn't really apologize and doesn't seem actually sorry. I just don't know what to do. Have you any advice?
He's your dad. You have to accept him like he is. You cannot change him. And I think she's doing the right thing by not telling him everything. Because
so
you're going to have to deal
question.
with it.
I don't know how old she is, but I'm sorry, Susan. I don't accept that a dad gets to yell at you. No.
Well, it doesn't say
She said
he's negative.
If I don't do something right, he yells at me and gets upset. So, Ray, I would say to your dad, I'm really sorry you're so angry. I'm going to step away. And when you can come and speak to me respectfully and calmly, I would be happy to resume this conversation. Everyone deserves that, Susan, whether it's a friend, a mother, a daughter, a father, a son. You don't get to yell at people unless it's me yelling at you, and then it's all fair game.
Yeah, whatever. So it is her father. And I would like to know how old she is, because that would make it a little bit easier. And as you mature, you're able to say and look somebody in the eye, say, this is really disrespectful. Daddy, I don't want to share with you anymore because you're always Debbie Downer or negative,
Right. Or Dougie Downer.
Do you want us to have a good relationship? I can't change who you are.
You know what I'm guessing, Susan? I'm guessing he's a worrier.
A worrier? Maybe.
I think he's worried about her.
That could be. But he is negative, she's saying.
Sometimes people are negative because they worry about
Very
what, she's on a
critical.
date. What happens if, he's worried?
He's there,
know.
but he's not actually there. He's there. He's old school. He thinks the way he thinks. Enlighten him. Tell him, Dad, this isn't
Well,
a
you
positive
just said 5
thing.
minutes ago, Susan, pick your story here and stick with it. Is he going to
I
change?
am.
Well, you said, Dad, he's your dad and he's not going to change. Now
No,
you
he's
just said,
not.
well, then she can't enlighten him.
Enlighten him how she's feeling.
He doesn't care.
Well, he will when she silences him.
I hope
Right?
you're right.
Yeah.
I think there's more to this story, Ray. I want to know how old you are. I want to know if you have siblings. I want to know if your dad is married. I'm guessing this has something to do more with interpersonal relationships.
I wonder if
than
he's a
just you.
freaking old Italian. Because they're stubborn. You can't get them to change.
Make up a pan of gravy, feed him, he'll be fine.
No,
Wait to a
no,
man.
no. They're stuck on their ways. But you know what, Ray? I offer you good luck. And if it were me, I would try to have that conversation and then I'd pull back. I mean, it's a shame to say, but
That's
I
what
wouldn't
I
share
said. You have
everything
to-
with him. I wouldn't want to hear his big mouth, his negative
you
shit.
Sometimes, Ray, you have to respect yourself. Yes, he is your father, but nobody gets to treat you. You shouldn't allow anyone to treat you disrespectfully.
Absolutely
anyone.
not. But thank you for writing in. Let us know if there's any break in this.
Yeah, good, let us know.
All righty. Question number 3 is from an anonymous. Hi, Golden Ladies. I hope you both are having a fabulous day. If and when you decide to read this, I'm staying anonymous on this question because I honestly am a little embarrassed by it. Oh, don't be embarrassed. I have not told any of my family or friends that this is going on. So here we go. My husband and I have been married for around 5 months. For contents, we did not live together long-term before marriage, only around a month due to how rent contracts lined up. Overall, I think we have a great marriage. The only issue that still weighs on me is we struggle to sleep in the same bed. He snores and is very sensitive to movement, and I struggle to sleep with snoring. So do I. As well as toss and turn a lot subconsciously as I'm sleeping. So, not a great combo. We bought a king-size bed to help, but it hasn't helped much. We've been sleeping separately for a few months now, but I guess I always thought we'd end up trying it again. I brought it up one time in conversation, and he told me that he also wants us to sleep in the same bed, but he's come to realize that it may not be possible. He says that getting good sleep is more important because then our waking time together is much happier and better. I cannot pretend that I don't enjoy the freedom of having a bed to myself. So it is not him just making me do this, but I always thought when you get married, you share a bed. And despite the freedom of separate beds, deep down, I do still want to share a bed. I know I shouldn't care what others think, but it makes me worry that people think we're having issues. And also that when we do have struggles in the future, as all marriages do, that being separated at night will only make us feel more separate in general. Good point. I also worry that our sex life will suffer, especially once we have kids. What do you two think? Is it possible to have a successful marriage and sleep separately? Any tips for sleeping together that I haven't already thought of? And any advice on having the conversation with my parents, my friends, etc. If we decide to continue down this road, I am sorry for the long question, but I so appreciate it if you decide to answer it. Love y'all and keep up the good work. Wow.
Well, wait a minute. First, there's so much to unpack here. Since when do you have to talk to your parents and your friends?
That's what stood out to me the most.
Holy
Who has to know?
Yes. And listen, Anonymous. If I said to you, when you talk to your friends and parents and tell them how many times you have sex a day or a week or a year, you might want to mention you're not sharing the same bed. Are you kidding? You do not owe anyone any explanation about where you sleep.
And you can have a fabulous sex life. Do it in his room, and then you could go to your nice clean bed and sleep sound. There's also, I don't know if he's a person that could do this, but they have the sleep thing that helps them not snore.
There is a thing. So there's sleep apnea. Who knows?
Yes.
I would say to you, Anonymous, he needs to go and get diagnosed. Does he have sleep apnea? Is he overweight? Is he, what does he have? Obstructive airway disease?
Deal with the issue
did you
of
hear that,
snoring.
Susan? Obstructive. Are you impressed? I knew that. Obstructive airway.
Airways.
I'm just saying.
But
There's a lot of issues.
she tosses and turns too, and there are mattresses out there that you can't feel the other one move. There are ways around that, but all in all, the whole thing taken in, there is nothing wrong with having separate rooms. It is early for it, but older people do it all the time.
That's the point, Susan, right there. I wasn't going to say it, but of course, now I have to. I think it bodes if you're sleeping separately every night. I think part of a good marriage, especially when you're young. Yeah, when you're older, take your snoring and your dirty socks and get out of here.
But how many times you get up to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, but when you're young, I think that could be detrimental to a marriage. I do.
Yeah, they do. Like she said, if we're not doing it now, if we're not together now, things happen in the marriage. And when you have kids, it's like two separate lives.
I mean, I know that when I was newly, married, in the dark ages, we used to lie in bed at night before we'd go to sleep and we'd talk about our day. It was like the intimacy without the sex part.
Mm-hmm.
That was different. That was sex.
Which
and
they
intimacy.
could still have. And then
but think about it. You're lying there and you're talking and you're getting drowsy. Oh, got to get up. I mean, I don't know. It just feels a little strange to me.
It does, and I understand her concern. But the main part for me, nobody has to know this unless he's telling people that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would definitely get him to a doctor, though. There's things that a newer device that you implant in the skin that helps with
that's the
snoring.
one with the button. You press the button.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
under your
snore,
chest.
so.
Yes. But talk to him. Now, I heard when you said, he said sleep is important. It is. Because if you wake up too tired and you didn't have a good night's sleep, you're cranky. And that's when you start bickering, or you go to work and you don't give it 100% because you can't, because you're tired. Yeah. These are all important issues. Yeah. So start from scratch and see what's causing the snoring. If you can, earplugs, nose things, try all these things.
So sexy. Here's the other thing,
That's usually happening to 70, 60, and 70-year-olds.
Really? Did you see, though, that she said she kind of likes it, that it's not all him? And then later she said, but I'd like to share a bed. I think, Anonymous, you're feeling conflicted.
Them, I'm sure.
I feel you're feeling conflicted. On the one hand, you like your good rest, but I really think the issue here is get him checked out if there's something that medically can be done. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. And we wish you all the best luck.
Try some earplugs.
And can I just say the other?
Or how about 5 days a week during the school week, the work week. And then the weekends are, you deal.
Well, let me ask you another question that she has not thought of. What happens when the kids come? You can't roll over and tap him and go, it's your turn to get up, because he's in the other room.
Put the speaker in his room.
That's right.
Unless he's breastfeeding.
And lock your door when you go to sleep, so when the kids are coming, Mommy, Daddy, I feel sick. The door's locked. They got to go to Daddy.
I totally get why you wrote in because it is something. It's a little early for that to happen. And I hope you guys get to the bottom of it and figure it out at least.
And by the way, congratulations on your wedding, on your marriage. I wish you a lifetime of love and happiness.
What do you do when you travel and there's one bed in the room? I mean,
I'm sure they asked for 2 queens. And she can hear them. And they get up grumpy. Then they go home and get their separate beds.
Thanks again, Anonymous. We wish you the best, but try to figure it out.
Resolve to earn your degree in the new year in
how and where you drive. Action always fast.
Get 2 cans for just $20.
With Minji
Products enough been evaluated by the FDA and are
save a few hiccups centered around small arguments here and there. You have so much experience and Okay. Question 4 is from Aurora. And she says, "Hi, Kathy and Susan. I love you two so much. You have so much experience and insight into life. I wanted to ask your opinion on my current situation. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 3 years. Things have been mostly great between us, save a few hiccups centered around small arguments here and there. Long story short, my mom doesn't like him. She doesn't have much of a reason, in my opinion, but I can't help that her disapproval ends up making me question whether I'm in a relationship that can stand the test of time if she and him can't get along. My mom and myself have had a somewhat contentious relationship ourselves, mostly due to her poor choices in staying with a man that wasn't good to my brother and me, and ultimately choosing her marriage to my stepfather over her 2 kids. Anyway, back to the issue. I'm just going to interrupt myself here. Aurora, that is the issue. Okay. Back to the issue at hand. Can I truly count on and commit to a relationship when my mother doesn't approve of him? How would either of you feel in my shoes? Do I trust my own judgment and continue on with this relationship, or read more into my mom's disapproval? I would genuinely appreciate your perspectives. You two are the best. Thank you so very much in advance for any advice you have to send my way.
Well,
I mean,
I want to know what her mother's judgment and issues are. Is she stating important facts about what something that she's seeing, the way he's treating her daughter? Like, what is it? This is a pretty general, she just doesn't disapprove, but there's a reason someone wouldn't disapprove. I mean, would disapprove. Am I right?
Not always.
That she just don't like him? Well, that's a possibility, yes. But
I think
ask
you have to
yourself, why is she saying this?
Well,
because sometimes when we're falling in love, love is blind, baby. We don't see the red flag like you would for me.
And guess what? When you see the red flags and someone else tells you, you don't pay attention.
This is true. But you bring it to their attention and it gets in their head and they will notice eventually. It takes a long time, but there's that.
Okay,
Other than that.
Wait a second. My mom have had a contentious relationship due to her poor choices. Why? I don't mean to be rude here, Aurora, but if your mom has made poor choices and stayed with a man who didn't treat you and your brother well, really? You're going to value her opinion over your own feelings? This is your life, Aurora. You need to learn your own lessons. You need to do what makes you happy. And if it doesn't work out, you have no one to blame but yourself. Not your mom is your mom.
And
not your life.
I've seen cases like this where the kids don't like the stepdad, and there might be nothing wrong with him. They just don't care for him. She's claiming that he didn't treat them well and she chose him over them. We don't know if that's
it's
a
her
feeling that she had or there was some issue. That's a big...
That's what I think. That's why I interrupted when I read the question. I think, Aurora, there's more to this relationship and more to this story than she simply doesn't like him. It may be tainted. She may just have issues around who knows what. But I think you have to trust your own gut, trust your own heart. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I met my husband, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, God rest their souls, did not like me. They did not like me. My husband and I were married for almost 46 years. My in-laws had their own really tough marriage issues, infidelity, all kinds of things. And I couldn't fight it. They just never liked me. And yet we were married for 46 years. So
what what did you do about it? Did it bother you that they didn't care for you? Did you speak up? Did you try to
I
win
spoke to
them
my
over?
husband about it.
Right.
My husband once said to them, they didn't change. He once said to them, Kathy and I have been married, I don't know, at the time it was like 35 years. We've been married 35 years. Do you think you need to get over it and start? I love her. Do you think maybe you need to get over it and start loving her
after
too?
35 years, I don't blame you. But I mean,
they
in
never
the
got over
beginning,
it.
when you knew they didn't like you, you never went to her and talked, say, what is it? What is it?
Oh, well,
with you?
yes, I did. And she would say, oh, no, we do. But, she didn't. And it was very clear. I'm not going to get into details, but trust me, it was very clear that they didn't like me.
And their marriage lasted forever. So you use your own
ours
judgment.
Did.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So Aurora, do what makes your heart sing. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? It's not because your mother didn't like him. It's because you and your boyfriend went ultimately down different paths. But be respectful to your mom. But
or even have a conversation and figure it out. Why, Mom? Why do you feel like this about him? And another important thing that is in my mind: does your mom realize how you and your brother felt about the stepdad? She's claiming her story right now. There's two sides to every story. Not that I'm putting you down. I'm glad you wrote in and I'm wishing you all the best. But open your eyes and take a clear picture of everything around you. But do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Mom can't control that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
All right. Now we're going to play. You ready, Kath?
I'm ready.
What would you rather? We're going to switch off reading the prompt and we're both going to answer it. And I'll start us off. Never been able to use your phone again or be unable to have physical touch with another person for a year.
You know what? I know this girl named Susan, and she always says,
"No, you're not answering
both.
For me. You're answering for yourself."
You didn't let me finish. I'm adopting her answer. She always says both. I'm saying neither. I couldn't do either one of those.
I could.
No, I know you're going to say you could not use your phone.
Yep, absolutely.
I want to be able to say that, Susan, but think about it. I need to be able to hear from my children. In the romantic world, I would say,
if you had to pick one,
you know what? If
pigs
pigs had wings, they'd fly. I can't pick one.
All right, take the next one.
All right, the next one is, it had my word in it. Would you rather have an unlimited supply of wine, but only be able to drink it from a sippy cup, or a lifetime supply of coffee, but it's always lukewarm? There's no brainer. I take the wine. Lukewarm coffee is yuck.
Lukewarm coffee is gross. That was a no-brainer. You're right. Have a partner who's amazing in the kitchen, but terrible in bed. Oh, God. Or great in bed, but can't make a single meal. That's fine. I'll cook.
And I just said, while you're reading, I'm going, well, I'm the latter. Great in bed and can't cook. I mean, that's an easy one, too. We got to get harder
these
ones.
are too
All right,
easy.
here's the next one. Would you rather have the hiccups during an important meeting or sneeze uncontrollably during a first date?
Hiccups.
Since I don't work, I'm sneezing. What about you?
I said hiccups. I'd rather have the hiccups. All right. Have a public fight with your ex on social media or accidentally send an embarrassing text to one of your kids that was meant for your partner.
Well, let me just say, you know what? I'm writing the rules here. I would never have a public fight with anyone on social media ever. So, you know, I'm pleading the
I would
fifth.
not want to accidentally send a text to my
So we're
kids.
moving on. We're not doing that one. All right.
Oh, God, we suck. Okay. All right. Have to share your search history or our text, meaning Susan and Kathy, okay, text with each other with your first date.
Oh, I'd share my text with you. Our text with the first date.
So would I.
You know what our texts usually are? Susan, call me back.
Help me pick this out. What should I wear?
Susan, are you cooking tonight? Our text, if we are talking about stuff, it's on the phone. It's where nobody can record us, or it's not in imprinted for
Kathy,
history.
how do I say this in French?
What? Yeah, really. Comment se dice en français? Which is, how do you say in Spanish? That's what we were doing. Okay.
All right, take the next one.
All right. Would you rather be perpetually stuck in an awkward elevator ride with your ex, or be forced to share a bed with your least favorite past coworker for a week?
I'll take that elevator with my
I'll take
ex
that
any
elevator
day.
all day long. All day long.
Okay, sit in a puddle and it looks like you peed your pants, or actually pee your pants but get away with it unnoticed.
I mean, can I just say this happened to Susan while we were on vacation? So
I pee my pants when I laugh too hard.
there's surgery for that.
No, I did it. I don't pee anymore, but yes.
Oh, really? You didn't pee
When
while
I
we were on
was
vacation?
Crying, laughing, crying.
Okay, so you do pee when you laugh.
Sometimes, not
The world wants to know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather call out your Susan, would you rather call out your boyfriend for cheating and be wrong, or be cheated on once but you never find out about it?
I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't want to know.
I think if it was calling out my boyfriend for cheating and I was wrong, I don't know. I don't want to be cheated on.
Well, you would never know. So what you don't know don't hurt you. That's an easy one. Okay. Burp in your date's face
gross.
when he tries to kiss you.
No.
Oh, God. Or try to pass off your gas on your boyfriend's dog and totally get caught in a lie.
I'm all with that woof woof.
Ooh. Oh, my God. I'd be
Come
mortified.
on. You're
with
going to
both.
pass off. You're going to.
I've been
I
like,
have-
"Well, excuse me.
You're going to burp in the. Oh, no, you're not.
I'll blame the dog. I'll blame the dog.
On the burp? No, you're mixing the two.
I
two
know.
choices.
On the fort. I mean, what are you going to do? Shit happens. Sometimes you have to belch.
Why, the guy's trying to kiss you?
Well, no. Like maybe he's on his way. Go, excuse
It
me.
says
I don't know. I don't
burp
do belch
in your
as much
date's face when he tries
No.
to kiss you.
No, I wouldn't
I'm
do
gonna-
that. I'd
I'm
probably try to blame the dog.
I'm definitely blaming the dog. What if he doesn't have a dog? I'm still blaming the dog.
Do you smell that? Ew. Did you fart? I'd say.
What's
Blame
wrong with
him.
your plants? Your plants are excreting some
I would
odor.
blame my partner. You farted. Ew, what is that?
So disgusting.
Oh my God. I can't believe it, but that does it for today's episode. Kathy, these things are flying by. Are we just having fun or what?
I think we're having a lot of fun, but you know what? I want other people. I hope that other people are laughing with us, because you know what we've learned? Life is short. You better laugh and have fun along the way.
Enjoy the ride. And that does it for this episode of Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope that you guys are enjoying it as much as we are.
I mean, if you have not tuned in, first of all, if you're listening to this, you are tuned in. But tell your friends, your neighbors, your aunts, your uncles, be sure to tune in to Bachelor Happy Hour, because we have new episodes all the time. And who would want to miss this, talking about burping and farting? I don't know. Who would want to miss this?
And don't forget to submit your questions to us. You can go to bachelornation.com/golden hour, or just DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour. It's easy.
It's easy. So easy. In the meantime, listen to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Until next time, take care.
Ciao for now.